Welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to be talking about another measure of central tendency. So a measure of central tendency is basically one number that you pick to represent a whole data set. And so it has to be a number that is close to most of the numbers, and so there are a lot of different ways you can figure out what number you want to pick to represent that data set. So in the previous video, we talked about using the mean to find a number to represent the data set. And in this video, we're going to talk about using the median, okay? So what exactly is the median? The median is a data item in the middle of a set of varied data. So it's the number that's in the middle of the set. It's in the direct middle of the set, okay? And so to find the mean, there are 3 steps that you want to do. It's actually 2 steps. But I have 3 different things here. So the first thing you have to do is arrange the data items in order from smallest to biggest, okay? Once you put them in order, then you want to look to see how many items you have, okay? If there is an odd number of data items, so if you have an odd number of data items, then the number directly in the middle would be the median, alrighty? So if it's an odd number of data items, the number directly in the middle would be the median. If there is an even number of data items, then the average of the 2 numbers in the middle will be the median. Okay, so if you have an odd number, it's going to be 1 number that's in the middle. If you have an even number, there's going to be 2 numbers that's in the middle, and you have to take the average of those 2 numbers. All right, so let's look at before we look at an example, there's a position formula that you can use that will tell you where your middle number is. So the position formula is given by n plus 1 over 2, where n is the number of data items, okay? So however many data items you have, you add 1 to that and divide it by 2, and that'll let you know which position your middle number is in, okay? So now that we know that, and we know the steps to find the median, let's look at an example to see how we would actually find the median. Okay, so for this first example, we have this data set that has 68, 74, 7, 13, 15, 25, 28, 59, 34, and 47 in it. You can see over here the last number. And we want to find the median of this data set. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 data points. So our n would be 10. So if we want to find the position, well, let me not confuse you. The first thing you have to do, so n is 10. I'm going to write that over here and move it out the way. But the first thing you have to do is, you could find the position first, but I don't want you to get confused and just count and say, okay, here's your middle number. The first thing you need to do is put the numbers in order from smallest to biggest. So our smallest number would be 7, then it looks like 13, then 15. Again, I'm underlining, that way I know I have all of my numbers. After 15, it would be 25, then 28, 34, 47, 59, 68, and 74. And so let me count and make sure I have all 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. So that would be the numbers in order. So now I use the position formula to figure out where's the middle number. So for the position formula, remember that was n plus 1, so it'll be 10 plus 1 divided by 2. This is our n, the 10, okay? 10 plus 1 is 11. 11 divided by 2 is 5.5. That means our middle number is in between 5 and 6, because 5.5 is in between 5 and 6. So where is the 5th and 6th number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here is 6. So basically, this is letting me know, since I got a decimal, that lets me know that I have an even number of numbers and I have 2 numbers in the middle. And whenever you have 2 numbers in the middle, you have to take the average of those 2 numbers. Okay. If this was an odd number of numbers, I would get a whole number here. And whatever that whole number is, I'll just count to that number and it would be my middle number. Alrighty. But because there's an even number of numbers, there are 2 numbers in the middle, and you have to take the average of those 2 numbers. So the 2 numbers in the middle are 28 and 34. And I have to take the average of those 2 numbers. So 28 plus 34 is 62. 62 divided by 2 is 31. So the median for this data set would be 31. Alrighty, and that's because we had two numbers in the middle and we had to take the average of those two numbers. All right, so let me know if you have any questions, what you think. Hopefully you've seen this before, and it rings a bell and it starts to come back to you. If not, it's okay to learn it for the first time. All right. In this second example, we want to find the median of the following data, and this time the data is given in a frequency distribution. And so what you want to do is, the numbers are already actually in order, because these numbers are in order, 1 through 7. So the first thing that you need to do is put the numbers in order, right? But this is already in order. And so remember, this means you have 2 1s. So if I list out the data, that means I have 2 1s, I have 4 2s, I have 5 3s, and so forth, right? I have 7 4s. That's what this means. So these are the actual numbers in my data set. So now I need to know how many numbers I have so that I can find the position. I need to be able to find the position of the middle number, okay? So if I want to figure out how many data items I have, I will add up the frequencies. So 2 plus 4 is 6, 6 plus 5 is 11, 11 plus 7 is 18, 18 plus 10, because 6 and 4 is 10, is 28, 28 plus 3 is 31. So if you add up the number of frequency, that gives you the total number of numbers. So your N is equal to 31. So now if you want to know the position of the middle number, so notice this is an odd number. So that means I'm going to have one number in the middle, and I won't have to worry about taking the average of the two numbers that are in the middle. So the position would be equal to N plus 1 divided by 2. 31 plus 1 divided by 2, that's 32 divided by 2, which is equal to 16, okay? That means the middle number is in the 16th position. So now we just have to figure out where is the 16th position. So if I add these up, 2 plus 4 is 6. So that gives me 6 of the numbers. 6 plus 5 is 11. So that will give me 11 of the numbers, and 11 plus 7 is 18. So if I was to list out the 4s, because 18 is bigger than 16, that means my 16th position is going to fall in here. If I was to list out the 4s, there's 7 of them. That would be my next data. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now if I was to actually count out this to the 16th position, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. The 16th position is here at 4. So the median of this data set will be 4. All right. So without having to list this out, the way I would do it is I will figure out which of these numbers would the 16 fall into. So 2 and 4 is 6, 6 and 5 is 11, 11 and 7 is 18. And since 18 is bigger than 16, that means the 16 will fall in this category, and that is the category that has 7 4s. So that means my median number is one of those 4s. So my middle number is one of those 4s. So the median will be 4. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. And so this is 2 examples that I just showed you how to find the median. When you have the data set, you list the numbers in order. You use the position formula to figure out what number is in the middle. The position formula is N plus 1 divided by 2. If you have an odd number of numbers, you'll have one number in the middle, and your median will be that one number. If you have an even number of numbers, you'll have 2 numbers in the middle, and you'll take the average of those 2 numbers. You do the same thing if your data is given in a frequency distribution. However, you just have to figure out where that position, once you get the position, you have to figure out where would that position fall, okay? If you have any questions whatsoever, don't hesitate to put them in the comments below or to send me a personal email. Thanks for watching, and make sure you tune in to the next video where we'll talk about the last 2 measures of central tendency, which is mode and mid-range. Thanks for tuning in.